Sorry about the shaky footage. I'm having a situation with the tripod. Hello family and friends. Today I'm going to be loading this table up here with some pansies that we're going to be using on our future installs. I'm going to drop them at this table here, do some deadheading, and set them up on a sprinkler so everything can be watered until we get ready to use them. See, right now the plants that we have in the beds now on our properties are still looking good. Those are from our spring and summer flower beds, and our pansies are going to take us through the winter into the mid-spring. But for right now, we just got to keep them looking good until I can get them installed. Also, I probably have a few mums down here. These, I have like 3 or 4 of these that I'm going to go through and deadhead them. I'll be putting those in the ground sometime soon, before frost. I'm going to be planting those before the frost, but today's video is going to be mainly about prepping the pansies for future installs, and also we're going to show you some different colors and different types of pansies, and where to use them, and why we choose the colors we do. Janice is really good with choosing colors, whether it be for the house, the color of the house, or the other plants that are in the yard. But we know for a fact that pansies are the go-to plant for getting you through the spring and winter. I'm going to go ahead and load this table up. This is our plant haul for the fall and winter, and I have quite a few colors here. We have the premium pure light blue. This is like a pastel with that yellow center there, and it is beautiful. I mean, it's almost like, like a watercolor. Watercolor's got that light blue, and it's eye-catching, and it's subtle. You have a soft tones with this color here, and it's beautiful. It's it almost, I mean, you can put it in a lot of the places where you would use white, and it's a nice light blue color. Janice chooses a lot of the colors according to the house, or what would do good in that area, or the other plants that are in their yards. We have a lot of the matrix. Well, I think all of these are the matrix series except for the violas. I'm gonna grab one of those. It's a viola here. Now this viola has a white and yellow center. I don't even know if it's focused or not. Has a white and yellow center, and it fades out into a soft lilac, and then it goes into purple. Now with the viola, they have the same watering. You have the same watering with the viola. It's just that the only difference with those is the petals are smaller, and they have the same, they do well in the full sun, even watering, and drainable soil. You want to fertilize weekly. I fertilize sometimes every 2 weeks or once a month. Now I use a water soluble slow release fertilizer, Miracle Grow slow release fertilizer. Let me show you some of these other colors here. We have the Matrix Scarlet Red. Now this one here has a deep red to it and a yellow center. Is that one of the best petals right there, Janice?
Yes.
I'm trying to turn you a good petal.
That's great.
And it has that yellow in there for that yellow pop. What we're going to do today is go through, and I think in this group of flowers, I'll be putting like 2 to 3 colors on a property, maybe just 2 colors. And with this one, I'll be matching this up with the Matrix Orange. This Matrix Orange right here. We'll be putting those colors together, which are warm colors. Now this bright orange, I thought it was electric orange, but this is the Matrix Orange, which is a lighter. It's a lighter orange, and this is definitely an eye catcher. Okay, let me get the tag. Keep this thing from shaking, but the wind is blowing, and I hope you're getting a good picture. But this is the Matrix Orange, and this is one of the bigger violas. Now, the Matrix Orange are beautiful. They grow in clumps, and the white ones are, I mean, I found with my experience, the white ones are more prone to get leggy quick, but I use them for trailing off the edges of pots. We do a lot of pots in the city, you know, along the streets and on the front porches, and when they trail over, you really have something nice. It's equivalent to petunia during the warm season, but this here will get you all the way through the winter and into the spring. Did you get a good petal? Mm-hmm. Show you a close-up on that. That is amazing. See, a lot of people don't realize that. Notice that yellow dot in the middle, but when you pair it up with a Matrix Orange or a yellow or a fire pansy or something like that, it brings out that yellow dot. And I had some peppers for someone, but they left them. These peppers here, these here will get you through to fall until you get a heavy frost. Now, if they're under a canopy, these here will go right on through the winter. Did I name all of these flowers? They are. We'll be using these, and we're gonna go through and clean up these mums. I'll be planting these before the frost, while the ground is still warm. I want to try to get these in the ground. See, even in the 50s, the ground is like still at about 70 degrees or so. And we're gonna be got water coming up right there. These watering these pansies early in the morning. Go and count them. Pluck. I'm gonna pluck off the spent petals and water them. I have my my water set on a timer. It's centered right here. I mean, none of this is on drip. It's on a overhead sprinkler, and these will be getting watered like 5 in the morning. And oh, another thing, when you're watering these, if the sun is up, like the hottest part of the day, you want to water them like directly to the root or close to the ground, because you'll boil the plant. Number 2, when you water like that, the water doesn't go where it's supposed to. It evaporates before it can get to the roots. So you want to make sure that you get that water down to the roots, and you know, you get a better performance off of these plants. I love the pansies. They're my go-to for the winter. I like to use a lot of different kales and pansies, and these are some of the colors we're going to be using, and I'm really happy with them. Really happy with these. and we are going to separate them according to the jobs that we're going to be using them on. Some of them we may be using some of the same colors. I think the cohesion will be white. I'll be putting a little white here and there on the different jobs. Some of them won't be getting any white. And like I said earlier, Janice picks out the colors. And if you have a really bright house, she gravitates toward the bold colors. And if you have a dark house, a dark colored house, she will put in the brighter colors to stand out. And I didn't even notice that I have a majestic giant in here with that purple center. Look at that. Finally got it focused. And I'll be going through and pinching off these spent blooms, taking it all the way back to the growth point. See, when you got something like that, see, actually this one hadn't even opened up, but for some reason or another it's a spent bloom. Oh, it did open. It's a spent bloom, so I'll be getting rid of that, and that will let the pansy focus more on the blooms and getting that nutrients out to the rest of the plant, for a nice lush foliage and beautiful blooms. So I'm just gonna go across here and look at these. These are really nice. I'm gonna do a few close-ups so you can see the detail on them. Look at that. See the detail in that? Nice. See, even with the lines in there, you see that there's more than 2 shades of blue in there. Beautiful. Scarlet. That scarlet pansy. This one here, the petals have like a velvety look to it. Look at that petal at the bottom there and how the light is hitting that. It's almost like it's velvet or something. And then that yellow from the center right there is just, looks like it's just pouring out like sunshine from the center of a nice deep red scarlet pansy. The matrix orange. I like the fall because you are able to work without overheating. The fall is good for well, a lot of times you don't have really a lot going on in the fall, but unless you're planting pansies or helleborus, kale, anything like that, those violas and ivy. There's different plants you can plant in the fall, and I'll be going through on different jobs, different locations using these, and I'm glad to be able to share how we'll be putting these in different locations. We're going to sort out the colors, prep them, pluck off the spent petals, fertilize and water, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm glad to be able to to share this with you because I have been waiting. See, my thing with these is I have to keep them looking good because I want to put them in now, but the plants that we already have in, our spring and summer plants, are still looking good. So while our friends are still enjoying their spring and summer plants, which will be coming to a close before frost, they get to enjoy them a little longer this year than normal. And I try to avoid just snatching stuff out and replacing them. Now the pansies, these will get you through the winter into the mid-spring. And so while we're waiting, I want to get them in the ground before frost, so that the roots have time to establish, and yeah, the roots have time to establish before the winter. And these will live under the snow. Now, if you know it's about to snow, you want to go through and water them, and these will live under 4 feet of snow. I mean, I've had no problem with them every winter. They're my go-to. And one thing about the cold, it's not the cold that kills the pansy. It's when the water freezes, it's not able to get to the root and then get the nutrients to the pansy. So I'm glad that I was able to show you our plant haul for this spring. Like and subscribe, and you'll be able to get all of our videos. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll get the video. We'll let you know when it's being posted.